Howdy, I'm Luna. Today we are checking out the June 2026 Micro Deco Challenge entries. The Micro Deco Challenges are a new event hosted by Shanette, where each month you can create a small entry centered around a theme that Shanette chooses. The June Micro Challenge was the Rainbow Bridge, where participants could create a memorial for a pet. So go grab your box of tissues and let's check out how these artists have chosen to remember their furry friends. This next entry in June's Micro Deco Challenge is called To All the Cats I've Loved. The artist is Marrae, and the owner of the house is Kentian. Its address is a Dojo portal on the Qeynos side, located on the Halls of Fate server, and you can currently find it under small homes on the leaderboards for now. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna do it the same way as I did Brunhild's one, where we're gonna look at the decorating first, and then we're gonna go ahead and read the books and really get into the memorial part of this build. So one thing I did forget to do at the beginning of Brunhild's was to give this house some likes and love. Please come out and do so as well, if you can. And yeah, let's take a look at the technical side first, and then we'll look at the heartfelt side. So first of all, I have noticed there are cats everywhere. Oh my goodness, as a cat fan, I have a feeling this is going to be very hard to read the books. We have lots of water dishes, lots of food dishes. Oh, that's a perfect food dish for the cats too. That looks like cat food. That's fantastic. Nice little sink here. I like the double bowls. And then this shelving that they created with all the cabinetry, very nice. I love the window looking out into Qeynos there. And look at this oven. It's a very, very nice, well done oven. You can see inside of it with the roast cooking, got the buttons, and then all the cabinets around the bottom. Very nicely done kitchen. These are the books. We're gonna read these in a minute. Oh my gosh, is that a cat tree? Oh, that's so good. Look at that cat tree. That's fantastic. That's perfect. And there is a shelf here. None of these books. Yeah, none of these books. And then another window. Lovely little fireplace. You can play music up there. Nice couch setting. Hello, sir. I didn't mean to step on you. All right. On this side. Oh, I love it. There's just cats everywhere. So there is a computer. Wow, look at that keyboard. And even a screen that has movement. It says, EQ2 player says, oh, Dusty, haha, silly boy. You trying to save me from the scary bird, haha. The cat. My cat does that too. She bats at my wings all the time. Oh my goodness, that is a really cool computer. I love that. Okay, nice little bedroom set. Desk. I love the windows. Looking out into Qeynos there in each room. Very nice. And then over on this side, oh, we have the litter trays. Those are important. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I love it. One for each cat. Got a nice bathtub. Of course, that's not for the kitties. And a nice toilet too. Yes, all right. So the decorating, very good in both entries. And now it's time to read the books. So here we go. So there's one called Dusty and one called Pepe, Jake, Meowth, and Persian. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with Dusty. November 11th, 2005. That's when this cat came into my life. I lost my little calico baby back in October 2001 and was not ready to think about getting another cat. My two children would ask once in a while if we could get one, and my response was always the same: not right now, money is too tight for a pet. Being a single mom does that. But in November of 2005, I made the decision to seriously consider getting a cat for the kids for Christmas. I told myself an orange-white one, and I'd name him Toby. As the week progressed, the orange-white changed to maybe a gray-white. So on Friday, November 11th, 2005, the small office I worked in decided to close up early since there was no mail pickup or delivery due to it being Veterans Day. So after everyone left, it was just me and two other ladies I worked with getting ready to lock up and just chatting. The door to the office was wide open. Since it was a rare cool day for Arizona in November and I saw movement from my left peripheral vision, I looked over and it was a kitten, gray-white, walking in like he owned the office. He walked up to us, sat down, and looked up at the three of us and meowed as if to say, okay, which of you idiots is taking me home? 3 guesses who that idiot was, and the first 2 don't count. So I took him to PetSmart, got him looked at. He was fine and about 5 months old. He was small, but his tail was very long and fluffy, and I fell in love immediately. I named him Dusty due to his dust-colored fur. It was time to pick up my kids from daycare, and I tucked Dusty into my cardigan so he could see but be concealed. I showed the desk girls the cat, got permission to take him into the classroom, and went to collect my kids. My daughter noticed movement in my sweater, and Dusty poked his little face out. My daughter squealed, "A cat!" I laughed and said yes. "Is he ours?" Yes, he's ours. His name is Dusty. And about then, one of the teachers brought in my son, and my daughter said to him, "Mom got us a cat!" To say they were excited was an understatement. So on the ride home, Dusty sat in the back seat with them. As he grew, his personality began to emerge. He was a little snuggle bug and a blanket baby. If I had known how much of a blanket snuggler he was going to be, I would have named him Linus from the Peanuts comics. He loved to sleep in the bathroom sink. He loved to chase the laser dot, and I let him catch it occasionally. He slept with me mostly, but he would bed hop between me and the kids. He had this little chirp sound he made when he was happy. He would press his face to mine, and we would nuzzle each other. He loved laying on my lap as I played EQ2, and he loved to play EQ2. I had finished a quest in Great Divide, where Saber the Falcon was the reward, so I zoomed out so I could see this thing flying around my head. That made Dusty perk up, and he began pawing at my screen to catch that bird, make his little mrup sound while trying to take a bite of that falcon. I was laughing so hard I was crying. Eventually he got bored and left, but I will always remember that. Another time my friend had to put her son in a timeout, and I had a chair designated for that. My washer and dryer was set up near that chair, and Dusty liked sitting on the dryer to begin with. Anyway, the kid decided to defy the timeout and stood up. Dusty yapped at him and bapped the kid on the head. Didn't hurt him, just a thump. Made the kid sit back down. Me and my friend started laughing. Imagine a cat keeping a child in line. He tried to leave the chair again and got bapped again. His mother finally let him out of timeout, but the kid was afraid he would get bopped again. We told him he was out of timeout and Dusty wouldn't touch him. So he darted out of the chair and Dusty laid down on the dryer like he knew he was okay to let him up. We still laugh about that to this day. Dusty had many names. I called him Duster, Bubba, Buddy, Dust Bunny, Softy Paws. He would paw at the blanket to be let under. Then he would stretch up upon my chest and bury his face in my collarbone and purr. When I would hold him, he'd wrap his paws around my neck and I'd dance with him. His purr was very loud, earning him the name Motorboat. He always knew when I wasn't feeling well. He would place himself near me to help me heal. I had walking pneumonia and he stretched out on my chest and purred. He moved with me a total of 3 times. He traveled quite well. Before the 3rd move, I noticed he seemed to be losing weight. I chalked it up to being confined due to the living situation we were in. We had to move and a friend put us up in her home and we were delegated to 2 bedrooms and free reign of the house. But due to 2 large dogs, all the cats had to be confined. As we now had 2 more cats and 2 my son acquired. So when we were finally able to move into our own place, Dusty seemed to be getting better. He gained some weight and was more active. This was in December of 2020. Then, just before Christmas, he seemed to become worse than the last time. Walking was hard for him. He'd take a couple steps, then lie down. He stopped eating, but he tried. I knew my time was now limited. It was heartbreaking to watch him slowly die, and on December 26, 2020, I made the painful choice to let him go. Because it was the height of COVID, the vet techs almost didn't let me be with him in his final moments. I fought that hard. There was no way I was going to let him go without me with him. So I held him, stroking his fur, whispering he was going to be okay, and I loved him. He purred the entire time until I didn't hear and feel that purr anymore. I like to think he came back to check up on me later. Even though the other 2 cats slept with me, I knew each footfall of the cats and I felt Dusty walk across my pillow where he liked to sleep. I reached up to pet a cat, expecting one of the other cats, but there was nothing. I knew then that Dusty came to say goodbye, and I haven't felt his presence since. All right, now for the next book. April 11th, 2009, the day before Easter. A couple stray cats my friend and I decided to help rescue. We found them just before Christmas 2008 alone, since their mother and a sibling both died in the deep freeze we had that night. Contrary to popular belief, Arizona does in fact get that cold. So when we found out 2 of the cats were pregnant, we made a makeshift nursery in my mother's garage. I made a tongue-in-cheek comment that if one of the kittens was going to be black, I wanted him or her. So when the kittens were finally born, that's when I got Pepe. He was actually a tuxedo, but true to my word, when he was weaned, I took him home, found homes for the other kittens and the mothers. Between the two mother cats, 8 kittens were born. Pepe was the 4th of 5 kittens, 4 males and 1 female. The other mother had 2 females and 1 male. My friend took Pepe's sister and named her Maggie May. He looked like a little skunk when I named him, and believe me, he lived up to the skunk part. Nothing else screams biological warfare when a cat decides to let one loose. He also had many names: Pepper, Pepper Pot, Pooper, Skunk, Punk, Pepsi Doodle, Stretch. He was not as affectionate as Dusty, but he had his moments. We'd pick him up and he'd go limp and complain, releasing sad-sounding meows like he didn't want to be held. So we would put him down. Then he would look up at us and meow normal, as if asking why we put him down, little punk. We discovered he loved the color yellow. I had several little toys scattered around the room, and he always singled out the yellow ones. It's like he knew which ones were yellow from white. He also loved the little crinkle balls. And one day, this tiny little skunk decided he was a big game hunter and came out of my daughter's room dragging her stuffed Pooh Bear with him. Just to clarify here, Pepe was barely 3 months old, still rather small, and the Pooh Bear was the size of a human toddler. Yeah, you see the picture. Watching him and Maggie chase each other was comical. Maggie was a calico, very compact and solid. Pepe was long and lean and overconfident. When Pepe would chase her, she would suddenly pivot and make a very sharp turn, making Pepe try to skid to a stop and course correct himself, but not before crashing into a wall or piece of furniture. Imagine a VW Beetle outrunning a Stretch limo. That was Maggie and Pepe, hence the nickname Stretch. Dusty and Pepe lived side by side, but Dusty always made sure to remind Pepe he was in charge. Many times I would have to rescue Pepe from Dusty when he had him pinned to the floor to prove he was in charge. When my friend moved away, she took her cats with her, a total of 5. Dusty and her oldest cat, a Siamese named Tiwi, were buddies. They would both gang up on Pepe. It wasn't to hurt him. I think they considered it a game. When Pepe would cry like a baby being bullied, they would walk away because it was not fun anymore. Pepe gave up too easily. That was his defense, I believe. Smart little bugger. After my friend was gone, my mother acquired a ginger for my brother he named Jake. So when we had to move, Dusty, Pepe, Jake, Mom, and my son had to adjust to tiny spaces. And during this time, my son became guardian of her 2 cats, who I believe were shown little to no attention. Both were skittish. Her sons named them after Pokemon characters, a female gray-brown tabby named Meowth and a female solid black named Persian. I would have named them something else, but my son grew to love the 2 wards, so when we moved, they came with us. We tried to integrate them into the family, but they preferred to be confined to my son's bedroom. Eventually, Meowth became brave enough to come out, and she and Pepe became fast friends. They would play and chase each other, while Jake would watch and just shake his head as if to say, "Children." Pepe loved to sit in my mother's lap. He would stretch out across her legs, his head resting on the armrest of her chair. It was almost like watching kitty tennis with Pepe and Jake. Who could get in Grammy's lap first? Sadly, we lost Jake around early March of 2023. He slept on a pillow in my mother's room, and his loss devastated her. Then I noticed Pepe starting to have some issues. It made me worry and fearful. Just when Meowth was starting to feel comfortable around us, we lost Pepe on July 25th, 2023. I held him while he took his last breaths, and he seemed not to mind being cuddled. After his loss, Meowth would cry, looking for her playmate. We had to tell her he was not coming back. She then claimed my mother's lap, preferring to be among us and not hiding like Persian. But we started leaving the door to my son's room open so Persian would know she was welcome around us. She slowly started to join us and discovered it was not so bad. Then in November 2024, Meowth started getting sick and we lost her. I had never seen my son grieve so deeply before. It ripped me apart. So far, Persian is doing well and loves the freedom of the house. She's still skittish and hides when company comes over. As much as I would love to adopt another cat, I don't want to shatter Persian's safety zone. So for now, she rules the house with a furry fist and loves trying to put us to bed. She wants to be loved, but she shies away from some contact. She lets us pet her, but try to hold her? Oh heck no. She wants no part of that. But we love her all the same. All right, well, those were beautifully written books. I also did not make it through that without crying. Thank God for editing. All right. Thank you so much, Marrae, for these beautiful stories of your cats, and just it was just so wonderful and heartfelt. Thank you so much for that. If you would please let Marrae know what you thought of their memorial, and maybe send some condolences their way as well, and send them some love. And with that said, we will see you all in my next video. Bye.